to another episode of Your Story, My Story, and I'm your host, Bree. And today's guest is Ashleigh Moulton. Welcome, Ashleigh, and thank you for being a guest. I know you're nervous. I'm still nervous. I'm still getting the hang of this. But please feel at ease. It'll be a wonderful experience, and I'm just excited because you get to share your story, and I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you how I met Ashleigh. I met Ashleigh at my church, and I met Ashleigh when she was in the 11th grade. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I was a Pathfinder counselor, and Ashleigh was a Pathfinder. It's like the equivalent of Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, right? And Ashleigh is one of the most driven young women I've ever met. Everything that she has ever said that she would do, she has done it. I mean, you have. You have. Not trying to make you blush, but you have, and I truly admire that quality about you. Ashleigh is someone I've been training for a few years, and she's really into health and fitness. She'll be launching her own YouTube channel very soon, and she's a bit nervous about that. But anyway, let's begin the interview. Mm-hmm. So, Ashleigh, tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. I just graduated from my undergraduate in college this year, and I plan on going to medical school next year. I'm just, like Sister Bridget said, I'm really into health and fitness and helping people to improve their lives in, whatever way that I can help them. I love to help people, like no matter what kind. Yeah.
Ashleigh, she's a very humble young lady, as you can tell, and she's just a bit nervous right now. But, let's start with health and fitness.
Okay.
When I started, before I started my course, I remember talking to you about it. Mm-hmm. But you and I used to work out together even before then.
We were running together.
Right, we were running together, and we did our first 5K together.
Yes.
And I remember telling you when I got my certification that I would like to start training you. Mm-hmm. And we were friends before. I mean, you're young enough to be my daughter. In fact, I've never told you, but I always call you like my workout daughter. But that really, I think, deepened our friendship because there's definitely a connection there. We both have the same drive and passion for fitness. Definitely. So what I have admired about you is your discipline. Where does that discipline come from?
Well, I guess when I was younger, if I said, or, if we said we were going to do something, we had to do it. Like your parents, you can't back out. And I guess that was just instilled in me when I was, now it's like, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick with it. So, yeah, I guess just growing up, it was instilled.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's, I'm so glad that you said that because there were others who started in your age group who just didn't have the discipline to stick it out. And, you didn't have weight to lose, but there's definitely been a change in your physique. What do you think of that change?
I love it. I love it. I got, biceps, and you look at your leg and you see the little muscles popping.
You see the definition.
Yeah, you see the definition, and I like that. Like she said, I didn't have weight to lose, but, it was good. I still saw changes in my body, and I liked that.
Yes. Now, tell us about your eating habits, because in this society, we tend to eat a lot of junk, and no one wants to take the time to cook anymore. You were away at college for a few years, but you were still able to maintain your healthy lifestyle, your healthy eating. Tell us about that.
So when I was at college, I would just take a day, usually Sunday or maybe Sabbath night, and I would just cook for the whole week, and I would cook healthy things, but good foods. I love to eat. So so I would just cook for the whole week because it would help me. If I'm hungry, the food is there. I don't have to go grab a bag of chips or cookies or anything. And I just wouldn't keep those things in my apartment, so it was wasn't an option. But you have to be intentional when it comes to that stuff because stopping at a fast food place or popping one of those frozen pizzas in the oven or chips and all that stuff it's really easy, it's quick. When you're in college, when you're an adult and you're working, it's hard to I guess, eat healthier if you're not intentional about doing that. So
Most definitely.
you just have to take time out and say, cook. I know if you have a big family, it might be harder, leave food in the fridge for the whole week. But
True.
Yeah, that's what I did. So.
I like what you said about not having the junk in your house, because that's where a lot of people fall. They have it there and it calls their name, and they're not going to resist. They will go and get it. So in fact, you even shared that at church the other day, and that was something that I appreciated you sharing. Now, you've done a bit of traveling. I was fortunate enough to go on one of those trips with you. We did a mission trip to Jamaica a few years ago, which was very exciting, a very fulfilling experience. But share with us about some of your travels.
Okay, yeah. So we went on the mission trip to Jamaica. That was a medical mission trip, and I love that. That's actually where I got a little bit of inspiration to become a doctor from. So that was fun. And then I went to India. And on the way to India, I got stuck in Paris.
What a wonderful place to be stuck. I wish I would get stuck in Paris.
So I went to the Eiffel Tower. That was really cool. And then I went to India with Habitat for Humanity, and we built houses. We went to Harwar, India. Okay. And we built houses for 2 families who had lost their homes in storms from that year. And that was just... I don't have words to describe it. It was really amazing. It was eye-opening. I had fun. I learned a lot. Indians eat some very interesting food. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I've been.
You mentioned about becoming a doctor. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I want to be right now I want to be a neurosurgeon, but everyone says everyone goes into medical school saying they want to be one thing and then they come out doing something totally different. But so we'll see, but that's what I want to do right now. And that just came from a culmination of experiences I've had in my life. I lost my friend to a brain injury, so that kind of started the neuro part of my position in the medical mission trip to Jamaica. That really inspired it. So I want to help the individuals like we helped in Jamaica, those who don't really have access to healthcare or can't afford medications, or whatever they need is not readily available to them.
You talking about the mission trip to Jamaica, I can tell that it meant something to you. And very often people don't realize the value of a mission trip, because in cases like that, some people find their true calling, and you seem to have found yours. And I will say that I was definitely pleased with how you worked hard to adapt to the environment. You really were very friendly and outgoing with the people that you met. And it was definitely a very positive experience. So I'm so glad that you had that and you've been able to share that with others. I would like you to elaborate on your experience. You went to a Seventh-day Adventist university, Oakwood.
Yes, Oakwood University.
Okay, I would like you to tell the audience about Oakwood University.
Okay. Surprisingly, it's kind of like, I guess, any other college you would go to. You do have the spiritual aspect of going to a Christian college, and it was a little easier on me because being Seventh-day Adventist, you have the Sabbath, you don't really do stuff on that, and I didn't have that issue going to that school because it was Adventist school. So that was helpful. And then, it was like any other college. You have to be you. You have to not give in to what other people are doing.
Yes.
But the spiritual aspect did help with that. You had to go to devotionals or AOI, stuff like that. So it was a different experience, but it was good. Sometimes I was like, why am I here? But in the end, I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
Okay, and I'll let you know that she finished her undergrad in 3 years, and that was another thing that she said she would do, and she stayed true to it. So I was not surprised, and now she's been applying to medical school. So we're hoping that that journey will start soon. Okay, Ashleigh. So when we were working out, You know, over the summers, every summer. In fact, I reminded your mom about this. But every summer, I would tell your mom, okay, we are going to work out this summer. And she wouldn't be very happy about it, but she would come along. But you were always very enthused about it, which I was very excited about, because I don't find too many young people who are as enthused as you and I are about training. What are the benefits of working out at your age? And I'm asking you this because what a lot of young people don't realize and they take for granted is that they may have a fast metabolism right now, and they may not have an issue of gaining weight or anything of that nature. You don't have an issue with weight. Why do you work out, and why is it so important to you?
So I wouldn't remember anything in my classes, but when I would start working out again, I would be awake, you know, I wouldn't be falling asleep.
You feel the difference.
Yeah, you feel the difference, and you're more energized. I really did remember things better in my classes when I was exercising. And I mean, and like I said, you know, I like the way I look, so. So, yeah.
I like to talk about the importance of self-esteem, especially in women. Of course, it's important for men, but for women, especially for girls in particular, do you find that your fitness regime, do you find it helped you with confidence, you know, with your self-esteem?
Yeah, I think it did, because, you know, I never thought I was, you know, black or anything ugly. I never felt that way, but it does make me feel, you know, oh, you know,
you feel empowered.
Yeah,
you feel empowered,
you know?
right? I think strength training, especially for women, it can be very empowering to start to feel your strength, to see muscle development. And please stress to the women out there that they will not look like men.
No, you won't look like a man.
It just, I think it really brings out the figure, your natural figure. I think it brings it out more, and you tend to look better in clothing.
Yeah, and you feel better.
Definitely. So I'm glad you were able to share that, because Ashleigh, you're definitely one of the more confident young women that I know. And that's something that I'm very happy about, because I think it's so important, especially on our journey as women, to be confident and embrace who we are.
Definitely.
Because it's like, you're not a doctor yet, you've not even started medical school, but I've already envisioned you as a doctor. I can see you in that capacity. I can definitely see you that way. So what I would like to talk to you about now is, what do you see for yourself in the future? I know that you plan to start medical school soon, but what other endeavors do you have in mind? Because I know that you'll be very busy in medical school, but I know you. What other things, what other projects will you have going on?
I definitely want to travel more. Medical mission trips, you know, or any type of mission trip. I definitely want to do that. I love doing that. It's fun, and like I said, I just love to reach out to people wherever they are, whatever their needs may be. I love to reach those needs if I can. I don't know. I might do the YouTube channel.
What did you say?
I might do the YouTube channel.
She said, let me clarify, because it didn't sound very clear. She came to me a few weeks back and she said she really wanted to do a YouTube channel, but she's getting a little nervous about it. And I have been encouraging her to do it, because she has a message. You can tell that she has a message to share with other young people. So I told her before the interview, I will be promoting your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I want to tell people, I know I'm going to be a doctor, and so it's very, you know, westernized medicine, but I also want to tell people that there are natural ways to heal.
Yeah, embrace the Eastern ways too.
The Eastern ways too, and so I want people to know about those ways that they can heal their body from diseases, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity. All these things don't all have to be controlled with a pill. Right. So, and I'm not saying, you know, throw out all your medicines or anything like that. But if you're on medication, you can get off of them eventually.
Right.
So, I just want to share that with other people. I know there's a lot of other, movement going on with this, natural,
because
holistic
we
care.
believe in the natural way. We also believe in the holistic care. And, like I always tell people, there's like cardio and strength training is a perfect marriage. I believe the same thing about the Eastern and Western practices in medicine. It's a perfect marriage, the herbal cures. And I'll give you an example. The other day, Ashleigh hurt her knee. And I said to her, put some vinegar on it. And she looked at me, but she told me the next day, it worked.
Yeah, almost instantly, literally.
There are some natural things, the old ways. I remember the old things that my grandmother used to do. And we laughed at these things. It's just like coconut oil. People were like using that on their skin. And that was like laughed at. People wanted to use lotion, but I can tell you coconut oil works. I use that every night. So I'm happy to hear you share that, Ashleigh. You were definitely a leader. That was something that's always come through. Where did that ability come from? Did it come naturally? Is it something that you learned? Or what would you say about leadership?
I think I definitely learned it, because even now, I don't like to be out in front of people. Even this is, really hard for me. So I think it's learned, and I just sometimes I'm just like, just put yourself out there, just go with it, go do it, and it turns out good in the end. So
I'm surprised to hear you say that it was learned, because I always saw you as one of those natural born leaders.
No, definitely.
Because at church, when there are certain things going on, you're out there, you get things going, and you're very, like I said, you're disciplined. And that's something, because I'm a disciplined individual myself. So that is something that I tend to appreciate, especially in one so young. So I would like to ask you about the future. What do you think are your future plans? I know that you'll be a doctor, but do you plan to practice here in the United States? Do you plan to travel? Do you plan to do a lot of mission trips?
Yeah, I think I want to do Doctors Without Borders. Definitely want to do that.
That sounds like something you do.
Yeah, so I plan on traveling, but I don't want to say put everything in stone, because I kind of just want to go with where life takes me, kind of.
That's the right attitude. That's the right attitude, to go with the flow. You have a plan. But that's good, because it shows that there's flexibility there in your thinking, which is a good thing for one so young. What would you say to young women today about, and I want to say this carefully, because I brought it up last week with my last guest, Emily, and it's like having a standard as a young woman. What does that mean to you, having a standard as a young woman? When I say that, there's a lot of pressure on young women today to have sex and to do certain things, to be a certain way, to dress a certain way. I mean, what would you share with young women about that?
Yeah, it's definitely hard sometimes to see what everyone else is doing, or know what expectations that the world, or even sometimes your family and friends have for you. But I think in the end, it's just important to just remember who you are. And I know you hear that all the time.
Yes.
Remember who you are, be yourself. And it's hard, but really that's what it is. You just have to know who you are, know what you stand for.
Definitely.
And that's what you have to do. You have to be you.
That's true.
Be you.
That's true. That's the old saying, to thine own self be true.
Yes.
I mentioned it in one of the prior episodes. You have to be true to yourself, because what a lot of young women don't realize, it's the root of unhappiness when you're not true to yourself. Because when you're out there with the crowd and you're indulging in certain behaviors and you're not being true to yourself, you don't feel good inside. And that's where in many cases drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and all that stuff comes in, because people try to numb those feelings of guilt. Right. Exactly. So it starts with being true to yourself, marching to the beat of your own drum, as they say. So Ashleigh, another question that I would like to ask you is, what does Adventism mean to you? And I want to stress to the audience that not all of my guests will be Seventh-day Adventists, but I do bring it up because there are people who associate us with a cult.
Yeah.
And you know, they think we're just out there, and I want people to see that whether you're an Adventist or no matter what faith you belong to, we're everyday normal people with everyday struggles, but we are normal people. It's just that we stand for something, and I want that to come across. So that is why I'm asking Ashleigh this question, because as a young woman, you know, I was a Seventh-day Adventist when I was younger, and I walked away from it for a long time because at that time it just was too much.
Yeah, sometimes it can feel that way.
Right, because I felt like it was too many, I can't do this and I can't do that. So I would like you to touch on that. What does Adventism mean to you?
So it is easy to feel like a list of do's and don'ts sometimes.
Yes.
But as an Adventist, we believe in just following the entire Bible, everything that Jesus says. So I think that's what I focus on. It's not about what I can't do, what I have to do. It's about what did Jesus have for me? And in the end, it's a better life. You know, you're happier, you feel better, you have higher self-esteem, and you know, and health, and standards, and those standards help to lift you up and to define you as a person. And it's I don't want to say it's hard being Adventist. It's not hard, but people do have a perception of us, and it's not always good. But we make mistakes. We do things we shouldn't. We're human. Yeah, we're everyday. And as an Adventist, as a Christian, period, I don't look at me above anyone else. Right. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I never judge a person because I'm like, the things I've done, you know what I'm saying?
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, we all do things. So that's what it means. It's not, it's just being a Christian, you know, a follower of Christ. So it's just being like Christ. That's what Adventism is to me, being Christ-like. So. Exactly.
And something that a lot of people don't realize is that the health message is a big part of our message. It's a big part of our message. We focus on a healthy lifestyle. We don't eat, we don't drink, we go by the 8 laws of health.
Definitely. So, which makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
Like Loma Linda is the blue zone, and there's a lot of Adventists there. So we have that health message that allows us to stand out from others in health wise in that manner. Yeah.
Right. So I would like you to, because you were at Loma Linda you were out there for a couple months last year. Mm-hmm. What was that experience like, being in a blue zone? Because would you explain to the audience what a blue zone is?
Yeah, blue zone is zones they're all over the world. They can be anywhere in the world, but it's just people who have a longer expected lifespan and who have healthier overall lives.
Too often we get caught up in gadgets and gimmicks, and people think if I have the latest equipment, I'll accomplish this goal. But our health laws, would you go over the health laws with the audience?
Yeah, sure. There's what's the acronym?
We start, or we something.
New start.
New start.
See, even we need to,
right.
But it's just basically nutrition, eating whole foods, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance in all things, fresh air, rest, adequate rest, and trust in divine power.
Right. And that is so important. That's really not so hard to follow.
Not hard.
But it's like, there are many of us, we tend to shine in some areas, but we're weaker in other areas. I think a lot of people don't get enough rest.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, like I'm one of those, I struggle with water. You know, so there's always room to grow.
Yeah, definitely. So, I struggle with getting enough rest between school and when I was working.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're very driven so I could see you doing that. And I can only imagine what it would be like once you go to medical school.
Because even when I would try to go to sleep, I'd be laying in bed like, but I could be doing this.
Right. Your brain is always working, thinking about being productive. Well, I tell you, Ashleigh, I am very definitely very proud of you, all that you have accomplished. She is definitely stepping out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
She said to me, like, she didn't know why I wanted to interview her, and I said to her, you have something to say, you have a point of view, because I personally, it's my intention to interview people of substance, and I consider you a young lady of substance.
Thank you.
You have something to say, and I bring it up all the time. It's about standing for something, and for others to see that leadership quality in you, and see that this young lady, there's something special about her. She's blushing, but no, but Ashleigh, you definitely have a gift, and I want you to share a little bit about what content can we expect on your YouTube channel.
Well, just ways to improve your lifestyle through healthy means. So through your foods, through your exercise, basically the 8 laws that we just went over.
Yes.
How you can just have an overall better health, a happier life, better living, things like that. Yeah.
And what does it mean to you? I asked my last guest, and I'll ask you, what does it mean? What does happiness mean to you?
I think it's being content with yourself, but not always staying where you're at. You're always trying to improve and be a better you. Right. So I think that happiness comes from being grateful for what you have, being happy with where you're at, but not settling. I guess.
Right.
That makes sense?
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. And any dreams, any big dreams?
There's too many. No. I just want to I don't know. I just want to do everything that I can,
You want to conquer the world.
Yeah, I want to conquer the world.
That's been my latest saying. I've been saying that I want to conquer the world. And I can
definitely.
I can actually see you conquering the world, Ashleigh. I would like to say to you that it's been almost 2 years since I lost my son, Demetrius. And, but after you found out, I will never forget when you came home and you actually called, because you weren't able to come home for the funeral. But when you came home on your next break, you called me. I was at work, and you said, Sister Bridget, would you like to go work out? And I said to you, Ashleigh, if I wasn't at work, I would definitely go with you. But when I got off the phone, I put my head down and the tears were there, and I said, Ashleigh gets me. You were the only person that understood that working out.
Yeah.
It was something that's been like my drug of choice. Something that, because in fact, that is what took me through that difficult time. So I have to bring it up, and I want you to stress it to the audience, because I know there are people who get sick and tired of me talking about the importance of working out. But I would like you to reiterate the importance of a workout regime, and the importance of maintaining it, and the importance of it's like to me, it feeds my soul. I would like you to elaborate on that.
Sure. First of all, she never told me that. But I don't know. A lot of people, it's important to maintain it because, like you said, it just, you feel good. After you come from a run or you come from the gym, it's just like, a weight has been lifted or something. And I think a lot of people have a hard time keeping up with it because they think, I have to, run 10 miles or, but you don't have to do that. Like, I tell people who are just starting out, I'm like, just take a 5-minute walk, walk around the block and come back. And even then you'll build up, but even then, you feel good. And it's important to maintain that because, like Sister Bridget said, when you're going through things, like when she lost her son, that's what helped her to keep going. That's what made her, feel good. And
Right. It was a big help. And what I want people to understand too is age is just a number.
Yeah, she was my trainer. I
feel very proud when you bring that up, when you tell people, my trainer's in her 50s, I feel, but you made me feel very proud when you told me the other day that people have offered you jobs like, would you be a trainer? And you're like, I'm not certified.
I'm not certified, you guys.
And they ask you, well, how do you know? But you were a good student.
Yeah.
But you have been a good student. And, you know, I bring up age being just a number because we all remember we started our 5K program training at the same time. The same time. And I remember feeling like, oh my God, can I do this? But I remember when we did our first run and you were trying to slow down for us, and I said, Ashleigh, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. But it was nice to know that we started this together and to see how we both grown in this journey of fitness. And I do get a bit annoyed. I have to say this. I have to say this. There are those who, when Ashleigh and I talk about certain things in fitness, and I see them looking like frustrated with themselves, like, why didn't I continue? But it's like, it's never too late to start again, right? It's never too late. What words of encouragement, Ashleigh, would you like to offer to our audience?
Just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it. Just, like I said, take a 5-minute, walk around the block and just do it. Walk around your house. I mean, do something, You don't have to lift weights like we do, but just do it. Do something.
Exactly.
You won't regret it.
Just do it. Yeah. And I'm thinking about, I'm laughing. I think one of my favorite memories with Ashleigh is when I was a Pathfinder counselor, I was in charge of physical fitness. And once a month I would have something planned, and we had a little relay race, and Ashleigh and her brother Al were very competitive.
Always.
That was the funniest thing because they were determined to outdo each other. But I really like that because I'm competitive too when it comes to working out. I used to compete with my ex-husband at the gym. So that rivalry can be a good thing.
Yeah.
It can be a good thing because that's another thing in working out. You don't have to be the same age, you don't have to be the same gender, but there can be a friendly competition that takes place because you encourage each other, you motivate each other. It's like, I'll never be as fast as Ashleigh, but when we go to the track, we're still there. She may lap me a couple times, but I'm still there hanging in there, and it motivates me. So Ashleigh, I just want to thank you for allowing me to train you because you were actually a guinea pig. But you helped me I was able to come up with a program that I know it works.
Yeah.
I know that it works. I've seen the progress, and I always think about how I pushed you and challenged you, but you have always been up for the challenge. You don't get upset with me. You suck it up. And
I sometimes look at you like, are you serious? Are you serious?
But you've done it.
The journey is never always easy. I mean, I had to work to put myself through college, and I never told anyone this. Absolutely, I didn't even tell my parents, but I actually went through depression, like actual depression, my senior year in college. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, it was bad. My grades were dropping. I was missing people. It was really bad. But I mean, I woke up and I said, I can't do this anymore. So it's not gonna be easy, and everybody has different issues, different problems, and different obstacles to overcome. But if you want something, you have to get it. You have to go get it, and whatever it takes.
So I wish that you had reached out to me during those times, Ashleigh.
I thought you were doing enough.
I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't have had to work out any harder. We would have just talked about it. But if you were going through a difficult time, reach out to a friend, reach out to a parent, reach out to your pastor. But there has to be someone that you can reach out to, and that's a lesson that I have learned. I've held a lot of things in and tried to do things on my own, but I've learned that it's always good to reach out. Well, Ashleigh, I'm just very grateful that you stepped out of your comfort zone to be a guest. And I'd like to thank you for joining us for another episode of Your Story, My Story. Please join us when our next guest will be Gwen McLeod, a domestic abuse advocate, and I'm very excited. This is Domestic Abuse Month, and I am so excited for Gwen to come and share her message. Thank you for joining us.